So here we are back in the science lab today, and today we're going to do something that seems a little bit strange at first. Like if I ask you, how do you blow up a balloon? You're going to say, well, everyone knows. You just put your mouth on it. So what's so big deal about that? But I'm here today to tell you that I've thought of using science to show 5 different ways that you could inflate a balloon if you knew some basic chemistry. So the first thing, we could say we don't want to use our mouth, and you'd all realize this is a bicycle pump, so you would just pump it up with that. But that's basically just the same blowing air into it that we did with our mouth. So what's another way we could do it? How about if we decided to use some heat? Here's the test tube. This is going to help us understand how thermometers work. So I'm going to put this test tube in the water. I've got this so it doesn't sink down into it. And then over the next few minutes, we'll check back with it and see if that causes the balloon to inflate. And if it does, we'll be able to explain why. Okay, the next one. You know that your mom uses yeast. Out of this corner of my eye, I saw that this one has already done its thing, so we'll explain that. The heat caused the molecules inside the test tube to be moving faster and faster and banging on the walls of everything, and the balloon was something that they could expand. So we used heat to expand the balloon. Okay, I don't know how much force that's going to generate, so I'll leave it there. If it popped off, it's not going to hurt anything. It would just be a little interesting. Okay, now, your mom uses yeast in baking, or your dad, or a baker. So the question is, why would they do that? So what we have here, I put yeast, water, and sugar into this flask and attach a balloon here. And because the yeast changes the sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide is a gas, we're going to expect that this balloon may expand over the next few minutes. We'll just leave it there. As long as I have everything sealed up, the only place the CO2 can go is into the balloon. Okay, so we'll check back with that in a few minutes. And the next one is going to be why you use vinegar and baking soda often in elementary science labs when you want to make a volcano. So our point today isn't to make a volcano, but our point today is that we want to show that we can much more quickly inflate a balloon if we pour some vinegar into some baking soda. And then I'm going to have to put this stopper in quickly, otherwise I'll have a giant mess to clean up. Okay, are we ready? I think we're ready. That is fast action, wouldn't you say? With the vinegar, the acid in the vinegar breaks the baking soda down and gives off carbon dioxide. Okay. We notice this one's working slower, but it is inflating. And the last one today, we have what looks like a water bottle to you, and that's what it was. But what we have done is put a balloon on the end of this tube because I want you to all see the principle of how your lungs work. So imagine that red balloon there was your lungs. We're going to illustrate with George over here later with his lungs. They're more like yours. But so what happens? If I squeeze this, you'll see that the balloon inside is all squeezed shut. But as soon as I release the pressure, now it inflates. That's the same thing that's happening right now with your lungs. You have a muscle across here called a diaphragm. When it goes up, it squeezes on your lungs. The air goes out your nose or mouth, whatever is open. And then when you take a breath in, the lungs expand. So let's check out old George here and see how this works. We have the two lungs, and they have millions and millions of tiny little air sacs in them. And those little air sacs, when we inhale, when we breathe in, they do the same thing as what the balloon inside the little water bottle did. It's all squeezed shut. There's very little air in it, but we take the pressure off, then it comes out and is more inflated. So what we have found is that by using a variety of different scientific means, we can inflate a balloon, but we can also learn a lot about basic chemistry. Science can be fun if you like to experiment and like to be creative and like to ask questions that most people are not asking. I would be surprised if any of you had ever asked yourself, how can I come up with more than one way to blow up a balloon? But now you know a bunch of ways. You have a great day. Always good to talk to you. We'll look forward to seeing you in the science lab one of these days. Bye now.